Hello everyone, welcome back to Ajdani Brothers Classified. Today we have Tottie Gob with us. He's the head of product management of consumer and gaming of Acer Philippines. So we've been friends for a while and we think he has a lot of wisdom he can share with you guys on this platform. So welcome Toti. It's good
Welcome,
to have you.
Toti. Thank you for being here.
So surreal
Yeah.
being interviewed by the two of you, but yeah,
Thanks for
it's a
being here.
pleasure. It's always a pleasure.
Well, we know Toti for a long time, and
5 years.
yeah, and we really look up to you in everything. You've guided us a
Really?
lot through our lives, so
That's
we are
so
so
true,
glad
yeah.
that you're here, and I hope that the audience can benefit from you too.
Yeah, Toti's always been like a mentor to us. And whenever we have questions regarding our business,
One
our
call
life,
away.
yeah, he's there to guide us and help
Yeah.
us. So yes,
Maybe you
happy
want
to
to
have
share
you.
something about yourself
Yeah.
first.
Well, currently, yeah, as what Sam mentioned a while ago, I'm heading the product management team for the consumer and gaming business of Acer Philippines. Before I'm connected with Samsung, I'm heading the display business unit. And way before is on an IT distribution. So mostly I'm into the IT industry since by profession I'm a computer engineer.
Wow. So today we want to get into the corporate world, but we want to
Before
start.
that,
We want to start from the
Mhm.
beginning. Maybe.
maybe
Um,
when you were 2 years old.
no.
A,
But
a provincial boy with
yes.
big dreams.
Big
Mhm.
dreams.
Yeah,
Yeah.
big dreams. And then I started my career way back 2004. So as soon as I graduated from Mapua, I think I can mention my college naman.
Yes.
No? Yeah,
Sure. Yeah.
Mapua, now Mapua University. Um, I'm into the BPO industry technically. I'm a technical support engineer. Then from there, I practice being a system engineer in an IT distributor. And then they asked Acer Philippines asked me to join them and manage the service business. So it's more on the enterprise products of Acer Philippines. And then eventually, I transferred to Samsung last 2013 as a product manager for consumer notebook. And then the rest is history for Samsung. I ended up being the head of display of display business unit.
Top four bosses in
Yeah.
the Philippines. No
And
joke.
then and then last November 2020, I went back actually to Acer. So Acer asked me to lead this time the consumer and gaming product management team. And currently, I'm enjoying every bit of it. So
Mhm.
That's
hopefully,
awesome.
hopefully things will be better. Of course, being in a corporate world is very different. It's very different. Unlike you guys that you are starting a business.
So I know that you're originally from Quezon, right?
Yes.
And then you moved to Manila when you were
Mm,
how old were you?
college. So 17.
17.
Yeah.
So let's go back when you were in Quezon. Did you ever think you'll end up in the position you are today?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Because I'm always a dreamer.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why I always mention nga to my parents or even to my friends, um, the things I have right now, 10, 20 years ago is just a dream.
Mhm.
And I'm living that dream right now.
Mm,
So
that's
And I know
awesome.
you're a big believer in law of attraction
yeah,
and all
law
those
of
things. Yeah.
attraction. So, and I always set goals for my life in the next 5 or 10 years. And luckily, well, should I say I'm grateful and blessed on the career path I took. And yeah, so basically it's more on dreaming big
Hmm.
because again, I'm from the province. I dream big, but execution and aiming for that success is a different story.
Mhm.
Of course, it's not always a smooth sailing.
Yeah.
There's always a lot of struggles and challenges. But at the end of the day, as long as your values are intact and you know your goals, then you will
Mhm.
succeed.
Well, you mentioned value. Talk to us about the importance of values. And what are some of the values that you have that
Mhm.
have helped you throughout this whole journey
Mm.
to get you where you are?
Well, for me, it's such a cliche, but my, not mantra, but I always believe that on the saying that, again, it's such a cliche. Others will say it's cliche, but for me, do what is right and everything best will follow.
Mm-hmm.
That's always my mantra whenever like I'm on a different, let's say, I'm on a business trip or I'm connected to a different company or I'm starting a new job or a new role on a new company, then it's always my mantra: do what is right, everything best will follow.
Going back to when you were 17, right? When you came to Manila, and I know this, you're an only child. You
Yeah.
left your parents and you are their golden son, of course.
Golden son of Quezon.
Yeah. And how was it like? Because the transition of coming to Manila and being alone, and you were in a dormitory, I think.
Yes, it's very
Yeah.
different. It's very different because I'm not pampered naman
Yeah.
when I was a kid, but I think my parents prepared me to be independent. So, but it's still a challenge for me because I'm living in a apartment with others. Though it's a family friend, but still it's a struggle because you have to wash your clothes.
Yeah.
I mean day to day living, but that's I think the good thing about that journey I had is that my parents prepared me to be independent, and then when I was in college, um, I knew that I will be successful
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want to settle for less. It's like, okay, if I will land a job, of course, definitely I will start from the scratch. But I know that my trajectory is that I'm should I say, built for success. But I know from that journey, I will have a lot of challenges. But as long as, again, going back to what you mentioned, Sam, as long as your values are intact, you know what are your goals, then I can say I'm not that successful, but I'm leading that way.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So you've been through this whole journey in your life working
In a corporate
in a
world.
corporate world. What would be your advice to to an employee or somebody who's starting fresh, maybe first year, second year, and they want to climb that ladder and get into a good position later on?
Yeah, because right now, the young generation, Gen Zs, they don't want to go to the corporate world, do the 9 to 5 jobs,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So, because I asked you this earlier, way back, well, like, what do you recommend them to do once they're graduated?
Actually, it really depends. But yes, you're correct. I think Gen Z nowadays are very different. Their approach to life or even to career is very different. If you are really into business, then for me, you should start first on a corporate world because working in a corporate world, it will serve as a platform for you to understand better the in and out of a business. And from there, you will learn what to do, like what are your goals, what are the things that you need to prepare, because if you will excel on a corporate world, let's say in a 5 year span of time, there's a big chance that you will also succeed in your own business.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why I said working in a corporate world is really good for a fresh graduate because it will serve as a good reference. It will serve as a platform. And from there, you will know the fundamentals and you know what are the challenges, the struggles, and eventually the success that you are aiming for.
Talk to us about when you started, your salary was so low, right?
Yes, I started my salary, I think I mentioned, right? Like 11,000. Yeah, and I'm working as a technical support engineer it's an IT firm, though it's somehow a BPO industry. Like my schedule is from 11:30 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Yeah.
So I
No
usually
sleep.
I don't have my own car way back
Yeah.
then. So I usually commute from Manila to Cubao, Cubao to Eastwood. And it's a struggle, right? And it's 11,000 pesos. So it's only for yourself. And you don't have any investment because
Right.
how can you invest on an 11,000 salary? But from there, I realized that I need to transfer to a different company that will really hone my craft and will really, enhance my skills as a technical or even a computer engineer. So I transferred to an IT distribution, and from there, I enhanced my management skills. And I proved the management that I'm worthy to be a product manager. And then from there, Acer, in a way, get me to be a product manager. And from there, when I was in Acer, it enhanced more my skills and my competencies. And then I used actually that experience for me to enter Samsung. Because when Samsung, in a way, should I say, pirated me, at least I have already the preparatory, all the management skills, technical skills, and even leadership skills.
Right. Yeah.
And then from there, when I went to Samsung, Samsung is very tough. It's a different company. But at least I know how to play politics. I know how to play everything.
Yeah.
And then from there, it's a journey actually. My 8 year stint in Samsung is a journey. And then I don't have any regrets because it really honed my craft to the fullest. And it really prepared where I am right now. And then luckily, I think Acer trusted me well. Then they asked me to transfer again. So I went back last November 2020. And I'm very happy right now. Heading the product management of Acer Philippines gives me a lot of perspective, a lot of goals to attain because you are the leader of the business unit together with the sales head. And in a way, we are partner and leading the consumer and business in the consumer and gaming business of Acer. And being number one actually in the market
Number one.
is a different story.
Yeah.
So
You have to keep that level all the time.
maintaining the market share is a different story. It's very hard.
Very hard.
It's very hard. Though the last 2 to 3 years, the demand is actually pandemic induced, the PC market. I don't know, maybe baka lumalayo na ako sa...
No, it's all good.
Yeah. But that's how it is, my journey.
But
As,
I feel like hearing your story, I mean, what you just shared right now, leadership and that skill, the skill to be able to lead, has played a big role in your career. Right?
Yeah.
Of course, there are other skills, whether they're technical or people skills, all these things are important. But talk to us about the importance of developing that skill, leadership.
Actually, leadership skills is, for me, it's a work in progress. It's always a work in progress. Like, I cannot perfect the recipe or the right ingredients because you're dealing with people day by day, different. You're meeting a lot of different types of people. You're managing a lot of people and with different backgrounds. So, being a leader or your leadership skills, you need to adapt to the ever-changing times because, like Gen Z, you need to have a different style of leadership because Gen Z has a different kind of attitude in a positive way. They're very innovative, but you need to inspire them. But before, I also manage a group of people which, in a way, I'm younger, like they're older by me, like 5-10 years. And it's a different type of approach if you're leading that kind of team. Because, again, it's a different company. So you need to know their strength, their weaknesses. You need to understand their pain points in order for you to build a collaborative group. Because at the end of the day, you should always know their strength and weaknesses. So that from there, you will use that in order for you to succeed, whatever, like your own business unit or your company. Yeah. So it's always a work in progress.
Work in
Leadership
progress.
is always a work in
So
progress.
aside from leadership, what are some of the qualities that a person in the corporate world should have that you think it helps them progress faster?
Well, of course, you need to have the pure talent, determination, and you know how to play politics.
Okay.
You know
How do you
to
play politics?
How do you play politics? I
Well,
feel like that's very important, especially in big companies, right?
Yeah.
Where
Politics
there's a lot
will
of
always
people.
be there. It's
Yeah.
part of the corporate world. And you just need to know your boundaries. You need to know your values. If you know your right, you can stand your disposition. But I will go back again to my mantra, or again, as mentioned by everyone, mostly, do what is right. And then everything best will follow. Because politics, they said, I don't want to go to that company because it's very politically motivated. But I realize every company, big or small, there's always a politics. You just need to play, and you just need to know your values, and from there, just move
So how do you
forward.
play?
How do I play?
How do you play?
Well,
Doing what is right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, if I think if someone is playing politics against me, I will not confront him or her in front of many people, but I
Yes.
will ensure that he or she will realize that he's doing bad, or
Yeah.
his approach is
Do you do this in private or
in
do you-
private.
in private?
In
Yeah,
private.
in
In private. I'm not the type of person that I will, make a scene,
Yeah.
but I will do it in private.
I think that's the best way.
Mm.
That's what we learned, like a one-on-one conversation,
Yeah.
because it also creates this relationship
Yeah.
between you and the person, because it's more intimate, whether it's a conflict or
Mm.
if you want to inspire them or motivate them, all these things, it's better done one-on-one.
Yes. Always, communication actually is the key. One thing I've learned in a corporate world, communication is the key. Because otherwise, if you have your own ego, you just want to,
Be
lead.
right all the time.
I'm always right. You will not be successful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've been in the corporate world for how long now?
Well, technically, I started my job 2004. But again, 2004 to 2006 is more on preparatory. It's more on trial.
Yeah.
So 2006 maybe. So it's about 16, if I'm correct. 16 years. 16 years of corporate world.
So it takes a lot of patience and consistency.
Patience, correct.
Yeah.
Patience, consistency, and determination. Determination, actually.
Also, uh, this is crazy because you have your personal goals, right? How do you set your goals? Because I've seen you every year, you have a huge progress without he's being humble all the time, but he sets those goals and you achieve it. Like, talk to us about that part. Like, how do you make it happen?
Usually, at the end of the year, I will contemplate what happened to me, like for this 2022. What happened this 2022? What are my strengths? And in a way, what are my weaknesses? So, for 2023, for example, real time.
Yeah.
Now I'm writing now. I don't know. I have this penchant of writing notes in a notebook, a small notebook. What are my goals for next year? And that goals is in a way relative to the strength and weaknesses that I accomplish for this year, for 2022. So usually I set goals at the end of the year. And then I will put it in a form of bullet. Okay, I want to do this. Like personal or work related, I will list down. Like for example, personal, I want to travel here. I want to buy this. But in order for me to buy this, I need to have this kind of money. In order for me to have this kind of money, I need to succeed in this portion, which is work related. So work related, what do I need to achieve? Not only for myself, but also for my team. Somehow,
So this
I'll
is a
put
yearly thing you do.
Yeah.
for the whole
Usually,
year.
I contemplate after Christmas.
After Christmas.
December 26th.
So you've done it
Yes.
already.
Yeah, so I will
In
contemplate.
a few days.
Yeah, in a
maybe.
few days.
Yeah.
And then from there, I will form, okay, my goal next year is, let's say, okay, I want to focus on wellness, work-life balance. And then these are the activities that I want to do in order for me to achieve that goals. Whether it's personal, work-related, or family, or together with my relatives and friends.
Nice, nice. Let's talk about Acer. So, being the number one in the country, right? What are some of the challenges that you have faced coming out of COVID?
Okay, the demand actually for PC is high in the last 3 years, but it's pandemic induced because of the situation,
Right.
like the work from home and the school setup, right? So the good thing with Acer as a company, I think the working environment is much better compared to other companies. So it's very collaborative. So it's very collaborative from the management team to the employees. And from there, we usually support whatever activities from lead generation to demand generation up to the execution level. And from there, Acer evolved And we're not just a PC company, but also a lifestyle brand. And I think that's the strength of Acer. And from there, we experience a lot of challenges actually, like supply. Actually, the problem
Yes, the
before
supply.
pre-pandemic is the demand. There's a supply, but the problem is the demand. But during the pandemic, it's the supply because there's a huge demand for PC. But what the strength of Acer is that aside from supply, we usually lead the market by introducing models of from notebook to desktop and to other IT products that it's very technology driven but giving value for the Filipinos because we know very well Filipinos are very price conscious.
Yes.
They value everything, value for money without sacrificing the technology.
Yes.
And I think that's the strength of Acer. We have the best products and we put value to our products.
It is definitely one of the biggest strengths of Acer.
Yeah.
Good products with
Yeah.
good pricing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, I want to go back again. Never mind corporate world for now.
You want to go to a corporate world, Tohid?
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Toti, did you ever think of starting your own business?
It's
You
part
have,
of the
right?
plans.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, it's one of my plans for 2022. Because during 2021, I said, okay, we're in a way exiting pandemic. But what's next for me? Of course, I will still continue my corporate job, but I'm thinking or contemplating of having a business. But what kind of business? And until now, that's a big question for me. Because you need to create a business, but in a blue ocean strategy approach. Because if you'll go on a red ocean, chances are you will not succeed.
Right.
And until now, I'm really, assessing what's the right business for me.
I think
Based
the
on my
right time will
strength.
come
Yeah.
when you just
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, based on my strength, based on my network, and based on my capabilities. So actually, I'm discussing a possible business venture with my best friend, but hopefully for 2023.
Yes.
Fingers
Yes,
crossed.
we will
for
be the
sure.
Fingers
first
crossed.
people there.
Yeah, of
And
course.
I want to
Branding.
go back to the law of attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us how it affected your life.
And we know you have a very strong
Yeah.
faith.
I don't know.
You do have
I
a
think
strong
law
faith.
of attraction really works for me. Kasi I imagined before when I was in Samsung. In Samsung kasi, sorry, magtatagish ako.
It's okay.
In Samsung, parang yung mga BU heads, there is a yellow chair. There's a yellow chair na parang, it's a parang distinct na pag you're a head of a certain department, your chair is yellow. Parang
Cool.
ganon. Then the
I've
rest,
heard this story.
yeah,
It's really
the
nice.
rest
Yeah.
is parang
Yeah.
gray. So, yung boss ko before, and that boss is one of my mentors actually, parang nag-vacation leave siya. And then, nakita ko yung chair niya. So from there, naging curious ako. Umupo ako sa chair niya. And then I said to one of my colleagues, someday, I will sit here. I will sit here and I will lead this team.
Wow.
Then fast forward, I think after 2 or 3 years, it happened.
Wow. That's
So I
fast.
said, oh, wow, law of attraction. So, I mean, again, at the end of the day, it's the fate.
Yeah.
And even if you're doing a lot of law of attraction thing, it's still your determination, your perseverance will lead the way. But having a little bit of faith and that
Yeah.
law of attraction, I think it really works Kasi you enhance the good energy, you enhance the positive vibe. And from there, mas easier for yourself to work and to achieve your aim. Kasi parang, sabi ko nga, parang I will sit here in the next like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
I will lead the team.
You think, me and Tohid are really big on law of attraction.
Yeah.
Like, we realize how much it works in the past maybe 5 to
Yeah.
7
Like
years.
everything you see here, with
was
vision.
already
Yeah.
envisioned.
Yeah.
So we were like sitting down, we want to have an office, we want to have a podcast. This was before,
Yeah.
pre-pandemic.
Yeah, I remember.
All of these things we talk about.
I remember
and then
now.
it just happens in the most crazy ways.
Yeah, I think it really happens when you somehow let it go and you are focused on what you're doing, but at the back of your mind or subconsciously, you have this vision already because
Yes.
you've seen it
Yeah,
many
you've
times.
seen it,
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
And then
yes.
what you said is so correct, where you can't just think about it and imagine
Yeah.
it and expect it to happen. You have to get out there,
Yes,
Yeah.
take
yes.
action, be determined,
Exactly.
and then you'll face failures, defeats, but at the end of the day, it just happens because that picture is already engraved
Yes.
in your subconscious mind or
Yeah, sabi ko
something.
nga before din, another, maybe yeah, law of attraction din. Sabi ko, before, I love traveling kasi. And yung cousins ko, parang sometime ata, way back 2006, um, nag-ano siya out of country. Tapos, he went to London. Sabi ko, in the next 10 years, I imagine myself na I'm in a business class airline, and then I'll go to London having this luxury bag and fancy
Yeah.
things. But sabi ko 10 years because I think in the next 5 years hindi pa kaya eh. But yes, I'm giving myself 10 years. So usually I imagine eh.
Yeah.
So ini-imagine ko siya na parang in a business class, parang you're set up.
Yeah.
And then nangyayari siya. So sabi ko nga parang wow God, ang bait-bait mo. So sabi ko nga more than grateful din. Kaya pag minsan if I'm praying in the church, sabi ko nga what I have right now, parang 10 or 20 years ago I just prayed. But realizing yung journey ko din naman it's not that easy. Parang I went to a lot of struggles, personal struggles, challenges, but no regrets.
Yeah.
And maybe I'm bound for greatness pa in the next 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
So
sabi
what
ko.
was one experience that really changed your life? You said struggles and all those things.
Recently?
Or anytime. That really shifted you somehow.
Inisip ko motivation eh. Motivation was yung nasabi ko kanina.
Yeah.
When I was in college, a professor really, kumbaga, bullied me. Di ba? Should I say, baka binuli niya ako.
This was in Mapua.
Yeah. But I will not mention na. Oh. But yeah, I do remember.
I can remember the name. Should I say?
No. It's okay.
Oh yeah, it starts with H.
Baka magkaklo sila. Kasi I think few professors way back my time na starting with letter H as the first name. But yun nga, naalala ko lang siya last weekend. And I remember when I was in college, it's a minor thesis. Parang nagdi-defense, parang it's a defense eh. And then, narattle kasi ako eh. Sabi ko nga parang ilang days na no sleep, tapos daming challenges, di ba? And then, narattle ako during my thesis defense. And then, he mentioned to me that you will not be successful. You will end up in a call center. And I said, ang unang inisip ko, anong masama working on a call center, 'di ba? Parang bakit masyadong may prejudice or merong judgment if you're working in a call center. But I use that motivation eh. So in a way, yung question mo, medyo na-challenge ako eh.
Life-changing.
Parang sabi ko, teka, hindi pwede. I don't want to go back to Mapua after 10 or 20 years na tama si Professor H, hindi ako naging successful. Sabi ko, teka, I will use that motivation for me to be successful. Hindi ko naman inisip naman na super successful ako right now, di ba? Kasi ang dami ko pang goals eh. But that is in a way life-changing na for me Kasi nabully ako eh. Parang talagang in a way, parang crush niya yung emotions ko nun eh. Parang you will not be successful. So medyo life-changing na sa akin.
That alone shows how strong mindset you have, because most people when they get some negative feedback, usually they back down.
Yeah.
Right? So you used it and you made it a positive outcome.
Oh.
But it's really powerful.
Yeah.
For me, I kind of function like that. Like the doubts. You know, if people doubt me or friends or whoever it is around.
Nag-doubt din naman ako. Actually, nag-doubt din ako nun eh. Baka nga, hindi talaga ako nasa, kumbaga yung field na chinus ko as an engineer, baka hindi ito talaga yung para sa akin eh. Medyo nag-doubt din eh.
Doubt is kind of like your worst enemy, right?
Yeah, parang mga siguro 20% nag-doubt ako. Pero na-realize ko, andito ka na eh. Parang graduating na ako eh. And it's up to me. The challenge actually or your biggest enemy is yourself. Kasi kung inisip ko noon, if I will, kumbaga parang okay, tama si sir, then chances are baka ngayon talagang
You know, I
struggling
can
ako.
really relate to you because I use doubt as fuel, just like you did.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times people that doubted me, I have this thing that I rewind and I remember their faces and what they said. And I'm like, okay, you're having a hard time now, but if you do give up, if
Yeah.
you do sit down and feel sorry for yourself, then what they said about you is right.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, if because you're putting yourself at that same level that they thought of you because you feel sorry for yourself.
Yeah.
Actually, constructive criticism is okay.
Yeah.
It parang it serve as your motivation eh. Basta constructive
Constructive,
criticism. Wag naman yung parang kaya kasi right now,
Destructive.
yeah,
Like
di ba?
you, like,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So even now, parang ako sometimes parang I don't care na if you have negative comments or feedback as long as I know I'm right. But again, knowing that I'm right, I have the reference naman or I have validation.
Yeah.
But kung yung iba naman na talagang super negative comments na you know, like in the age of social media, there's a lot of bashing, di ba? A lot of negative feedbacks. Then for me, learn the art of deadma.
Deadma. Yeah.
Parang deadma na lang. Yeah, learn the art of
important.
deadma. Eh. But sometimes constructive criticism is really a motivation for you to, you know, to set goals, execute it, and at the end of the day, tawanan mo na lang yung
Yeah.
mga nagsabi.
Okay, I have a question. What is life about for you? Because for some people want to be happy. For
It's
some
always
people-
naman. Parang,
Yeah, for some
parang I
people-
want to be happy, di ba? At all aspects of your
But
life.
is it really like that? For some people, life is about suffering. They want to suffer in order to reach a certain level. For some people, it's about growth. For some people, it's a combination of few things. So, what is life
For
about
me?
you? Yeah.
For me, life is what you make it eh. Diba? What you have right now is the consequence or the fruits of your labor, of your challenges, your struggles, or your challenges.
True.
That's why, sabi ko nga again, cliche din siya, but live the life you love and love the life you live.
Yeah.
But it's a journey eh. It's a never-ending process of learning, you know, struggles, challenges.
Happy moments.
Yes, exactly. There's no perfect, like parang, ang dami ko rin natanong eh, ano ba life goals mo? What is life to you? And majority sinasabi, I just want to be happy. Parang I realize lahat naman
But how's
ata,
that?
di ba? Lahat naman ata gustong maging happy. But I realize as well, you cannot have a perfect life naman eh. So talagang it's like a roller coaster ride.
You can have happy days.
Yeah, roller coaster of
Definitely.
emotion. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Kasi right now, I can mention naman I'm doing good, but in the next 1 month or 2, pwedeng magkaroon ng struggle or challenge, di ba? But it's up to you how you deal with it and how you will overcome it.
Yeah.
And then, yun nga, babalik ka pa rin dun sa core or yung fundamentals mo. Ano ba yung gusto mo? What you really want? What do you want in your life to succeed in the next... Pag minsan kasi short-term approach, like in the next 1 or 2 years. Long-term is like in the next 20 years. Diba? So, go back again to the fundamentals or the core. What's your goals in life?
So based on what you just discussed, what's one advice that you would give your younger self?
Wow. That's a good question. Very simple, very tricky.
Yeah.
My younger self, just... What's the question again?
An advice you give to your younger self.
Yeah.
To your younger self?
Maybe you 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Make your parents proud.
Wow, that's deep.
That's very deep.
That's
Make
deep.
your
And
parents proud.
I wasn't
seen,
I wasn't expecting that, but knowing you,
Yeah.
yeah.
From
Kasi
what we
kung,
see,
yeah,
you are.
kung
Yeah.
15-year-old me, then Toti, make your parents
parents
proud.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're super proud.
That
now.
was very
Yeah.
short and sweet.
Yeah,
Very
make your
proud.
parents proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say hi to your mom
Yeah.
and father.
They're very technically inclined. So chances are they will watch this podcast.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
I want to ask something from Tohid because we talked about life and all its aspects, whether it's happiness or suffering or challenges and everything. What I know about Tohid, he deals with these things very well. So he has this kind of mindset where you don't see him being affected much, right?
Yeah.
But whatever he's going through, I want to dissect your mind. What goes through your mind?
Oh,
How do you
that's
do it?
tough because, well, as a man, usually we thrive when it comes to negative. That's how it should be, I think. And
Yes,
when
yes.
anything negative happens in our lives, we should use that as motivation, right? But I was super lucky because I had Sam, and but you're only child, so it's you have to deal with those things
Yeah,
alone.
yeah.
But I had Sam. I still have Sam. I have Sam, so anything that's going on, I shared with him. I asked him, and it's so good that he is like 2 years, 3 years older than me, and we bounce ideas back and forth.
You
Right?
complement each other
Yeah.
kasi.
But there are, of course, some things that I don't see the point of sharing, or it's not that important, although it may be painful. But I have this thing that I don't have that much attachment to any outcome anymore. Maybe when I was younger, I had. So this was a method I learned way back that if I'm something is that is troubling me, so I imagine it in a paper that okay, this is troubling me right now. I crumble it, I dropped it, and I'm walking away. So that's already down there. I'm not gonna
Yeah, yeah.
go back again and pick it up.
Yes,
So it's
exactly.
gone. Yeah, that's how I think.
Oh, that was nice. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Kasi I think that's the advantage of being a man. Kasi less emotions eh. Less emotions, you know, the direction. So, yeah.
Is it less emotions? I feel like we do feel everything, right?
Yeah, we feel that way more.
everything deeply, but we don't necessarily react to it like women do.
For me, we easily move forward from one emotion or one situation to another. And I think it's very important ha. Kasi if you will really dwell on something that, let's say for example, something bad happened, and you dwell too much, you put a lot of energy, chances are there will
More
be a
bad
lot of
things.
complications. But that, I mean, the advantage is that move forward, learn and move forward and charge to experience. Lessons learned, something like that. So I think it's also an advantage.
So what do you think is the difference? You've worked with a lot of men and women, right? You said men are less emotional, they move forward faster. What's the difference when it comes to that area between men and women, and what is a strength that women have that men can learn from? Because that's a strength men have, right?
Yeah.
They're less emotional, so they're able to move forward faster. Yeah.
For women kasi, again, I will relate from my experience, like in a corporate world, like say in the last 16 years. Women kasi is more collaborative,
Yes.
but very emotional.
So
Diba?
impulsive.
Very impulsive,
Yeah.
exactly. So that's the thing. Meaning, the strength of men and the strength of women, pag pinagsama kasi siya, it will create innovation eh. It will
Women
create
are more
innovation.
agreeable, right?
Yes.
They agree
Just need
much
to, you know,
easier.
be collaborative. Because, yeah, tama, men are less emotional.
Yeah.
Parang, kumbaga, men is like diretso lang eh.
But less agreeable too.
Yeah, women kasi tendency
Yeah.
talagang daming paikot-ikot, 'di ba? But again, sabi ko nga, even for my previous team or my current team, let's use our strength. Let's use our strength in order for us to come up with a one strategy and one goal, and let's execute it. Kasi kung ang mangyari is that you will have resistance, kasi this is my strength, I cannot adapt on your strength, then there will be conflict, there will be a lot of miscommunication, and chances are, mahahatak eh. It will pull your team eh. So from there, you will not achieve whatever your aim or your goal eh.
Yeah.
So we need to have very collaborative, and we need to complement each other.
Who do you think makes better leaders, men or women?
Men.
Men.
Wow,
Why?
zero
That was
doubt,
fast.
huh?
That was very fast.
Men.
Why?
Why?
Kasi less emotions, and then I don't know. I'm not sexist naman, but I
Based
think
on experience.
based on experience,
Yeah,
based on experience, yes, because we can adapt to changes easily.
Yes, we're more adaptable.
Yeah, and being adaptable, it creates innovation. Being innovative creates success.
So based on what you said, what's a high value man for you?
What do you mean?
Like, who is a high value man
Yeah.
in this
What
society
what
right now?
separates the high value man from the general normal man? What's up there
Or
within
what
the
are the
5 to
qualities?
10%?
Yeah.
What are the qualities?
Wow. That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough for me. Well,
Give us three.
Yeah, like for me, for example,
mm,
a high value man is someone who is driven, focused, and knows his
that's my initial, actually.
knows his values
Mm,
and doesn't settle for
yeah.
what's not meant for him, and he puts his goals and careers over
Mm,
uh, other things that are
mm,
not as important. He
mm,
doesn't focus on things that
mm,
don't add value to his life, and he knows exactly where he's going, right? That's a high value man to me. So I think generally people have the same idea about a high value man, but we want to hear it from
Yeah.
you. Like, what's a high?
For me, personal and based on my experience and also my observation, innovative, goal-oriented, and determined.
Determined.
Mm.
Yeah,
Determined.
determined. What's a high value man to you?
Well, all those things, but I think a high value man in this society needs to have his finances together,
Yeah.
because you can't thrive and be a high value man if we talk about society wise. Like, you can't be on top.
That's a huge factor.
Yeah.
That's a main challenge
Yeah,
of
so you should have your
men face
finances. Yeah.
nowadays, right? Like, how do we get our shit together, our
Yeah.
finances together? A lot of these men have good values, right? Values are there. They have integrity. They have all these things figured out. But the challenge is that it's hard to see progress within this system because you might end up working for 10 years, 20 years, and barely see any progress because not everyone has the skills Toti has to progress to the top, right? So that's the main challenge. And the way society sees things today, or women see things,
Yeah.
men today, is a high value man is somebody who's successful and has their
Yeah,
finances.
Yeah.
who is able to provide,
Correct.
right?
The one I mentioned, innovative, determined, and goal-oriented, is based on the recent years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meaning the pandemic situation, pre-pandemic or post-pandemic. Because right now, we're on a technology-driven world.
Yeah.
So, being a high-value man, you need to be innovative talaga. Otherwise, or chances
Wala na.
are,
Yeah, no.
mali-left out ka sa group or to a certain
Yes.
situation.
So
if
really
you're not
think
innovative.
outside the box. Right?
Think outside of the box. Innovation is always the key. And then, being innovative naman, but if you're not determined and you don't have any goals or you're not goal-oriented, chances are you will not succeed din naman eh. So you need to learn how to use the innovation or your talent in order for you to succeed. Meaning, you need to have a goal and you are determined to reach that goal. So, and again, coming from the pandemic situation, a lot of things happened, di ba?
Yeah.
The world is very different after the pandemic situation. So, that's why yun yung ginamit ko. Because integrity, values, it's hard to balance eh.
Yeah. So
It's really hard to... you should always have the integrity and other values, but balancing, and you give me only three, ano eh.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
it's...
exceed
yeah.
it. Exceed
If we
it.
want to exceed, of course, we have more. But
Yeah.
pag tatlo, ang hirap talaga.
Yeah.
Kasi, I mean, balancing the values and your inner self, your well-being is a different story.
Sam, how do you think that men right now can improve those skills to try to level up and become a better man?
I think first and foremost, they have to honor themselves, who they are. They have to know who they are, what they want in life. Like you said, they have to have goals, be goal oriented. And that's just the first step. And then after that, they have to commit to it. So the hard part is committing to it. You
Yeah.
know, staying disciplined every day, no matter how you feel.
Exactly.
Like we talked about, some days you might not feel happy. you
Yes.
might
And
be
it's normal
sad.
for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you just wake up and you do what you got to do anyway. But the problem with men today, especially with the younger generation, is that they're becoming too soft. we keep saying this on podcasts because it's true. When you look at like, sorry, young men, young, maybe 17-year-olds, right now they're totally different from when we were 17. They're more sheltered,
Yeah.
right, compared to before. They're more, they're in their own little bubble. They're always on their smartphones, gadgets, so they don't really experience the real world as much as what we
So
went
what do
through
you
as a
recommend
generation.
they do? Get around more better people who are doing better.
That's one
Yeah.
thing, yeah. If I'm a 17-year-old guy now, I'm around you guys, of course, I'm gonna be ahead of my peers, right? Because I have better guidance, better mentors, but also get outside of your comfort zone. Get off the internet, your phone, and do stuff.
Exactly.
Be more active. Do hard things. One of the easiest hard things to do
Yeah.
is to go to gym,
Yeah.
right? We keep saying that.
We keep saying that all the time, right? But also there is this thing right now that people are more depressed. It's simply because they don't have more physical activity anymore,
Exactly.
right? Because you're on
agree.
your let's say you're on your phone or laptop the whole day. Nothing is getting done. Nothing is happening. You can go for a walk. You can go outside, meet your friends. Because whatever that you can do to keep your mind away from you being still in one position, being stuck, it helps you improve your mindset.
Yes,
Right?
because the only thing you want to avoid is being stuck, right? Being stuck.
Did
is
you
the
ever
only thing
have a moment in life that you felt you were stuck and nothing is changing?
That's a bad feeling.
During
feeling stuck.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone.
During
yeah,
2020, I don't have the time to go on a gym.
Yeah.
No endorphins.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have endorphins, no creative juices, then you're stuck.
You're
Mm-hmm.
stuck.
Actually, you're stuck.
You're stuck.
Yeah. That's why the initial months of 2020, it's really a challenge or struggle
Yeah.
because you don't have any
For us too. I think for
Yeah, I
everyone.
mean,
yeah.
like especially if you're on a very routinary or structured way of living. Let's say you'll start your day by going to the gym, have breakfast, do your job, like say 9 to 6. Then after 6, if you want to run, then come pandemic,
Yeah.
there's a lot of restrictions. So again, you're stuck.
You're stuck.
You said morning. Do you have a morning routine?
I have a morning routine.
Yeah, what's your morning routine?
My morning routine, law of attraction again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
When I wake up, I'll open the curtains in my condo unit, and then I will tell everything what I want today, manifest.
How do you do
Wow.
it? Do you do it in details? Because I
Yes.
feel like details are important, right?
Very detailed.
Very detailed. Yeah.
Yes. Like I want to achieve this 5%, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, very
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Sometimes it's very weird.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
but
feels
yeah,
Just
but it
imagine.
works.
Just imagine if I'm your neighbor and you will
Yeah.
hear me chanting something. It's weird.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like manifesting what I want to deliver and experience that specific day.
You said chanting something
Yeah.
because I use this also, like saying it out loud.
Yeah, I
It
just say,
feels weird, but
thank
it
you, Lord.
feels
I'm
so
so
good.
blessed today. And today, I want to be I want to succeed in this project. I
Yeah.
want to close this project. I want to achieve this. Very specific
Yeah.
sometimes. But sometimes I just say thank you. This will be a great day. I'm embracing it, and this will be a historic day for me. Something like that. I don't know. It's very weird for me.
It's empowering.
It's empowering. And after that, I'll go to the usual routine. Go to the bathroom, prepare myself,
Yeah.
eat breakfast. If I have the time to go to the gym, go to the gym. Then
Cool, cool.
it's actually weird. Actually, it's for me it's weird, but for me it's very powerful.
Yeah.
I can relate to you
It's very
because I've done
powerful.
this.
And it's
many
very simple.
times.
It's very simple. I just say, thank you, Lord. This is a wonderful day.
Yeah.
This will be a great day for me. Thank you, Lord, because today I will close this deal. Thank you, Lord, because we will end up this quarter with a good year-on-year growth, 5%, 20%, market share number
Yeah.
one.
And
Then,
Toti, do you meditate? Or if you don't meditate, what are some
To be honest, I
activities
don't
you do?
meditate.
Yeah. But what is some activities that really calms you down? Is it, I know you travel, you like traveling. Something that really puts you in a state of
It's
calm.
very simple. If I'm so stressed, I'll go down. I'll just walk to there's a certain street in Makati that's very quiet. I'll just go
Walk.
for a walk
That's
for
like a
a
meditation,
10
yeah.
to 15 minutes. And while walking, I just watch people, passersby.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll just observe them. And then from there, I'll just put life into a perspective and what are the things that I will do in the next few days. And then from there, it's like actually meditation. It's meditation.
Yeah.
It calms my stressful self
Yes.
sometimes.
Yeah.
Because if I'm so stressed, I really need to go down na. I cannot like work, let's say, in front of my laptop, work for the next 2 to 3 hours. I will not be productive.
Sometimes all you need is to
Yeah.
take a walk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sit.
So
You
I'll
have
just
to
walk.
really find out what works for you, right?
That's why I'm thankful kasi yung area ko talaga, may certain street dun na sobrang quiet,
Empty. Yeah.
very empty. Ikot lang ako dun. And 10 to 15 minute walk is a good walk na. It's a good exercise and it's a relaxing feeling na.
Okay, I have a funny question. What do you tell to someone who's going through a heartbreak? If you
Guys, watch
guys or girls
and listen.
especially guys, because we can
Yeah.
relate to guys, right? How do you deal with a heartbreak?
Everything happens for a purpose. There's a purpose for everything. Maybe you cannot understand today, but there's a purpose. And it's for you to find out.
So you
Okay.
keep that mindset every day.
Keep that mindset.
That's
but
hard to keep.
How do they
It's
move
actually
on?
hard,
How do
but-
they move on?
But I mean, if you're in an unhealthy relationship already, then you have to move on because you need to, love yourself first. Because if you cannot love yourself and if you are in an unhealthy relationship, chances are in the next 1 or 2
Yeah.
years,
Yeah.
the situation will be worse. So moving on is a challenge, but you have to. Because otherwise, it will pull you down, it will make things more complicated. Moving on is very hard actually. Moving on is very hard, but you have to. You have to love yourself first. And again, everything has a reason. There's a purpose for everything.
So how did your faith help you throughout your life? Because I know you have a strong faith. Yeah.
I think it's very important because if I don't have faith, chances are my life is very different. Like I had my COVID, di ba? When I had my COVID, my COVID journey actually is a testament of faith. Kasi my COVID kasi is early COVID days
Yeah, it
pa,
was
di ba?
hard,
It's
tough. Yeah.
it's a tough one. We don't have any vaccine. Vaccines are not available. And my symptoms are really, really, it's a very different. But it's actually about the faith. It's more an unwavering faith. And it keep my values intact. And, without faith, baka sobrang bumigay na talaga ako
Baka
sa
patay na.
nangyari. Hindi naman patay. Pero baka, baka iba yung situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I think naman kasi God has a plan for us talaga. Maybe kung hindi ko pa makuha now yung gusto ko, then maybe another plan Maybe another situation or next 1 or 2 years. Yun.
How do you see yourself in 10, 15 years? Do you want to retire in 10, 15
Actually, I
years?
wanna retire, like say early retirement, but 55, 58,
55,
50, 55, 58 or early retirement, enjoy travel.
Travel.
Yeah. So that's why I want to invest na. I want to have a business that, good investment para I'm still in a corporate world because feeling ko mamimiss ko yung corporate world pag masyado ako nag-concentrate sa business Parang and in a way
You
I think
enjoy it, yeah.
I'm designed to work in a corporate world But I need to have a parang certain business or investment para early retirement, para mas ma-enjoy mo naman kumbaga yung journey mo, yung life mo, ma-enjoy mo. Kasi sabi ko nga, kung magre-retire ka 65, 70, chances are hindi mo na ma-enjoy
Yeah.
So at least early retirement, you have the energy to, to explore everything. And again, mahilig kasi ako talaga sa travel. And it's very evident
We
sa
talked-
social media ko.
Yeah, we talked about retirement. I just remembered your parents. What was, let's say, what's one important value or something that you learned from your parents that you still keep in your heart?
From them, nung nakita ko sila, they really preserve a good relationship with their colleagues. And it's very evident na every time, let's say, we go to church or we go to a public places, parang ang lahat na nakakakita sa kanila look up to them. Parang ang taas ng tingin sa dad and mom ko. And I think it's because of their hard work and also their leadership.
Yeah.
Their leadership.
So, they preserve the good relationship. Parang they don't burn bridges. Parang wala silang inaway. Kung nagkaroon man sila ng conflict, they resolve it easily.
That's really hard.
That's
Oh,
really
they
hard.
resolve it easily and working harmoniously. And yun nga, until now, parang grabe yung affection sa kanila. Like in social media and even face-to-face pag nakikita sila. Parang, even for my mom, ang daming na-inspire sa kanya. Even for my dad, ganun din So sabi ko, I'm happy and I'm proud that they leave a legacy. Na parang, okay. Kasi they're mentors, di ba? They're in the education industry. And something that, yun yung siguro pinakita nila sa akin. You need to preserve a good relationship with your colleagues.
That's why you're
Well,
good.
we met your parents, and I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
amazing. Loving and amazing. What else?
Okay, I'm actually good, but before we end the podcast,
Yeah.
so we have this tradition
Okay.
that everyone who comes to this podcast has to give us a gift that's somehow you like or somehow it's valuable to you.
Yes.
And at the end of 1 year of us doing podcast, we want to have it all auctioned and then give it to a charity.
It can be anything.
It can
like
be a
something
t-shirt,
that
it can be a
represents
cap,
Something
our-
from me.
Yeah.
from you.
from you.
It can be a keychain.
Sorry, we
it
won't
can
give
be
you anything.
Like, I'm wearing now or something.
No,
that,
anything,
You
anything
just-
that you feel like
Anything.
people will like.
It can be something in your house that
Yeah.
you just like to give. Or it can be a Louis Vuitton bag if you
Oh,
like.
no.
Yeah.
Now, so I have to decide now?
No.
We
Sure,
just
sure,
letting you
sure.
know.
Yeah,
Time,
because I
yeah.
want to be symbolic.
Yeah, that
symbolic.
would work.
That's
I
a
want
good
to be
one.
symbolic na something na there's a portion of me
Yes.
Yes.
on
That's
that.
what we like.
Yeah,
That's what we like.
yeah. So okay, yeah, no problem.
So, yeah.
All right. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Tottie,
Tottie, for coming by.
It's great to have you, yeah?
Guys, Tottie
Thank
is
you.
family, guys.
We'll have you back
Watch this
on
podcast.
again after
Yes.
a while.
Sure, it's my pleasure, and I'm very, very happy for the two of you
Thank you.
having this kind of amazing place and also a business
Yeah.
that will really enhance your skills and your strength as a person.
Thank you.
my friend.
Thank you so much. That
Goodbye,
coming from
everyone.
you, it's a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.